Hey, it's Frank from 40 Honeybee. Another exciting day for me today. It's May the 25th, and I'm heading out to pick up my second nuke of bees to reestablish my apiary today. And it's a really neat story behind this whole second nuke. So I might break this up into two videos here. One just to do with the bees and one to do with my journey and how this second nuke plays into it, because it's a really neat story. So thanks for joining me at 40 Honeybee, and let's go through it. Okay, so first off, just a bit of background for those of you who don't know. This is my 8th year of beekeeping, although I took last year off. I took last year off because a bunch of circumstances came together and the bees were no longer convenient for me. They're pretty far away. We moved, and my bees died out. So I decided to take the year off to see if I really had a passion for it and if I wanted to do it. And just before I took that year off in 2021, in the middle of the pandemic craziness, I'd kind of formed a plan with what I wanted to do with bees. I determined that my maximum capacity for beehives to be able to manage was about 6 or 7, and I had 6 or 7 that year. But what I decided to do was to keep on expanding the colony and give bees away, prepare nukes, give them to local beekeepers, help other beginner beekeepers, help them get started or help them expand their hives. And I never got to do that because had some bad luck, did some bad managing as well, and the hives just never got to that point. So rebuilding things from scratch here, and this year I decided to start with only 1 hive, which is never a great idea. I always recommend to start with at least 2 if you can manage it financially, because you need resources from 1 hive to the other. It really helps to have 2, if nothing else, to compare one against the other. But then sometimes things happen and you need to take from one to give to the other, and you can't do that when you start off with a single hive. But that was the financial position I was in. I could only really afford to start off with 1 nuke this year. And then lo and behold, a very generous listener and a follower on YouTube who's a beekeeper in the area offered me a second nuke so that I could start off with 2. So that's why I'm off to see Derek. He's 86Offroad. He's got a really good YouTube channel. I'll put a link for it in the description. And turns out he's kind of picked up the torch, and I don't want to flatter myself, but you know, Derek did tell me that he was watching YouTube videos when he got into beekeeping, found my channel, and that was part of what helped drive him and direct him into beekeeping. So to me, it's come full circle. The whole plan of trying to pay it forward, even if I wasn't able to do it completely with my own nukes and making bees for other people, it shows that it was the right thing to do because someone else did it and is doing it for me. So I think it's a great story. I can't wait to meet Derek. We've talked on the phone a little bit. We've talked for the last few months on just on emails and such. So look forward to meeting him. Look forward to grabbing those bees and helping pay it forward as well. So we're with Derek from 86Offroad, and Derek, I've done a little bit of an intro as to how we got here. Right. But why don't you tell me a little bit about your bee journey and what got you to this place?
Yeah, it was literally just videos like yours. Looking on YouTube, watching videos, and long story short, got 2 nukes 6 years ago, and this is my second yard. So
awesome.
Yeah, I think there's I just set this up a few days ago, and just some nukes and some singles. And then over at my other yard is actually at my in-laws property. There's another 30 or so full-size colonies. So yeah, it's a hobby that snowballed.
So in 6 years, you're up way over 40 colonies.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're all. I have the bee inspector come out every year and get my permit to sell nukes and
right on
and colonies, and yeah. So.
And what do you do with your honey?
Just harvest it all and then word of mouth.
Yeah,
word of mouth. So I think last year we got, between spring and fall, it was not quite 2,000 pounds of honey.
Wow,
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. So you're doing all that yourself?
Yeah, do it all myself, and yeah. So as the size of the outfit scales up, you know, all the equipment scales up, and yeah. So
for sure. And I see you've got this electrified.
Yeah. Yeah, not right now, so you can touch it if you want.
Yeah.
But
No, I've hunted in areas where we deal with electric fences.
Yeah.
And the joke is always, yeah, go for it. It's fine. It's not it's not on.
Right.
Until you actually touch it, and then then you find out.
Yeah, I got a lift off it the other day when it was a little bit rainy out.
Oh yeah, right.
So you can see how small the area is, and that fencer unit is meant for 16 miles of fence.
Oh really?
At 12,000 volts.
Oh man,
so,
right. So that's a lot of juice.
Yeah.
And how did you set that up? Do you have your other yard electrified as well?
No. So it's been more of like a residential area. It's kind of like a rural residential area. So touch wood, I haven't had any issues with bears. There are bears in the area, but I haven't had any issues. So yeah. So there was actually a bee yard here at one point at the back.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So it was all abandoned for about 5 years. So I cleaned all that up and then talked to the landowner, and it's great spot.
And one thing that like I've never been shy to just go ahead and talk to a landowner, right?
Yep.
But how did you come across this property in particular, and how did you approach them?
So we live maybe 3 kilometers from here.
Yeah.
And we take these back roads for kids hockey and sports.
Yeah.
And always seen all that abandoned bee equipment over here.
Okay, right.
So the outfit got too big for the back of my in-laws' property, and so I figured I'd talk to them and see, and they were more than willing. So
yeah, it is always great to have a second bee yard.
Yeah,
right? Like even for your splits and nukes, it's great to be able to move bees around. Right on. Well, look, it's great to meet you, and I really
you too.
I
sir.
really appreciate your support, and again, I've gotten into some detail on what we're doing today, right? And I do appreciate it. I might break it up into one video just for bees and one video on your journey and my journey and how those paths connect, because it's something I'm really grateful for.
Yeah.
But I'm also proud of, because that the whole point of me putting together videos and making the beekeeping journey public is to help people, right? And once you realize maybe you have helped people and they've helped people, it just makes it all worthwhile. So thanks very much. I really appreciate it, Derek.
Thanks for the free content for years and years, and here's a little if I can give back a little bit, right? So,
right on. That's what it's all about.
Right on.
Good stuff. There's all the cows. They're not subtle, are they?
Something maybe chasing them or what? Never seen them do that before.
That's hilarious. That's a great setup. So you still only you've only got this yard half full, right?
Yeah.
So you got a lot of room
I think
for
there's
expansion.
13 or so here, and I planned on putting 20 and 30 here. We'll see where we end up with.
Yeah.
What nukes I have left over.
And how many nukes will you sell this year?
I think I had 12 or 13 people that had committed, and then one person flaked out on a couple of them, but that's all right. I don't like taking deposits on them. I just, sometimes the majority of people are good. Sometimes you get the odd person that, if they don't have anything invested in it or no commitment, you don't hear from them again, right? So, but, hey, that happens.
The way of the world.
Yeah,
right?
That's it.
So here's the nuke that Derek's provided, and just look at the number of bees here. And just listen to the number of bees too. That's something that's hard to describe on videos. First impressions right off the bat are that, first off, there's a lot of bees in there. That's a good nuke. We briefly discussed that, sometimes you grab a nuke package like that, and Derek was mentioning his first couple just maybe had a cup or two of bees. And
it was.
Managed to get them through, but
but
this is more than a couple of cups of bees here. And the other thing I noticed right off the bat is they're incredibly calm. I almost don't like projecting for the microphone here when you're in the presence of bees that are so calm. Yeah. Do you find that with most of your hives that they're easy to work with?
Pretty good. I mean, it depends on time of day. Yeah. Early spring, late fall, they can get a little ornery, right? But for the most part, once the honey flow starts and they're on a mission, then they don't seem to mind. They're pretty good. So
right on. Well, I can't wait to get them into their hive.
Yeah, right on, sir.
And thank you very much for everything.
Yeah,
Thanks
nice
for paying
meeting
it
you.
forward.
Yeah.
Same here. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. I'm glad that I've made a new friend in this community, because that part of that is what it's about as well. So really appreciate it.
Right on. Good luck.
Same.
Okay.